So there's this group of mid-career professionals whose job is affected by AI, and Ashutosh also kind of is a mid-career, right? Even though he's in college, he is mid-career.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's an interesting sub-demographic in the larger demographic of mid-career professionals, and this is a great research into how someone like him sees AI and his job as it evolves in relation to what AI is taking away and what AI is giving us. So it's a very
Yeah,
interesting conversation for me personally, not just in terms of post AI nation, but also you know
yeah,
in terms uh, hearing with a very open and curious mind about how someone in Ashutosh's age range thinks about the tools that are coming.
yeah. Ashutosh, how are you feeling?
Yeah, I'm feeling good. Ekdam good. Like very good feeling to be here. Banu.
Okay, I'll show you something, and then I don't know if that feeling is going to be good or not.
I've already saw it though.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, you have an idea of like what this is. I should be able to I should be able to get it full and running, I think, by the end of the week. So let's start there. Let's start with what I have built, and then so I spent, I think, roughly 10-12 hours on this till now. It's not been a lot that I started building this. So what I have built, I've named it also Ashutosh.
Oh,
I've named it. Can you guys see this?
Yeah.
yeah.
Right. So obviously it's a tool on building, and obviously I need to add a few more layers to it before it can actually do a lot of work for me. But right now I'm just like sort of thinking about the kind of content that we are producing, the kind of content that we are communicating, and the work Ashutosh does in the workflow of this entire thing. So this thing is named Ashutosh. That's the name for this. And then there are four sort of pillars that I've been actively involved in over the past 3 years. So one is org design. Org design is anything that is to about what are the kind of new things that the organization needs to adapt to, what is the architecture, what is the design that they need to adapt to. So I do a lot of reading and research around this area. So I've built a system that gives me every week the top themes of around the world of on org design. Similarly, I created a research process for AI products, the top AI products that are happening through the week. I created the same for banking. I have a lot of work in the financial sector. So what is happening with banking? What are the new things that are coming up? Obviously, there's a research process. I have hard coded that research process into this entire process, and then there's obviously the Nepal. Like how AI can be used in Nepal. What the other governments are doing. So you see a lot of Trump administration, White House, and stuff like that over here. So as I built this, I realized that okay, now I have created an engine that gives me the top level understanding of what is happening in the world right now. So what I need right now is I need a bit of state of affairs. I can't be going and reading through everything. So I need a assimilation so I can become a bit ready or ready to go into details if I need to. So I created sort of a like a high level summary of what that research outcome is for this week. And once I saw that, I was like, okay, maybe I need a bit of a like audio background to like maybe a 90-second summary of everything that is happening that week, so that I can get into the entire process. So like even when I'm narrating this, you might already see that okay, there is a research process, there is an assimilation process, there is a process for me to understand and get into it. So I'm trying to optimize this entire system on how I think. And then once I have the research process, it pretty much so if I go here, then I go to any, let's say for example, like any research artifact, why it matters, what are the different content angles that I keep, because I have created different content pillars, and then I can write content from here. It could be on different pillar. What format do I need? I need a LinkedIn post, Twitter thread, blog, any direction that I want to give it. And then when I just push it, write content, it starts writing content, and it does for all LinkedIn, Twitter, blogs. As well. So, let's say, for example, if I go to Twitter, this says it needs approval, and this point of time, it says the writing is done. I have built something called the LLM Council. What that means is that over here you see the score 0.42, 0.57, 0.57, stuff like that. All of these numbers are built around an LLM council structure that vets the original content that comes. So it's almost like putting an LLM on review. And once that is done, you can like we can see the council has reviewed it. The revision is done. This is from the human in the loop. That's me. The image and all, if it has to create it and it's waiting for final approval. So I can pretty much see how the Twitter thread is going to look like over here, and then I can approve and publish it or regenerate it from here itself. The other piece I'm trying to see is I want to understand what is the cost of running all of this, and then since the time I built this, I barely spent like just over $2 on this one, and I've also sort of created different costs for different places where I've built agents on how costly they are going to be, because I need to justify if this is going to be expensive or not if I deploy agents fully. What I plan to go forward and do is I want to create my own sort of a CRM that I can engage with different customer profiles, segment them, do the messaging from here, write emails from here itself. So this sort of I want this to be my command center for anything that I want to do with marketing for my brand. So yeah, that's what I'm working on. What do you guys
What
think?
I love about this,
What?
if you remember when we started working, and you started talking all this fancy stuff, consultant language, workflows, and auditability and blah blah blah, and all
Observability.
that
Observability.
observability and all that. And I asked you, Alok, do you have something to show for all this?
Yeah,
And you didn't. Right?
yeah,
And I was like, uh, okay, this feels like a smart guy. I should trust him. If he says, this exists, maybe it does. But you really do not have anything to show for
yeah,
what you meant, right? And this being kind of something not having any private consumer like company data, and this being a personal project, this could be such a great demo for organizations to be able to visualize what workflows mean, what cost tracking means, what LLM council means, what observability means, what human in the loop means. um, I think this is just a demo of your product, right? As
yeah,
Alok, the consultant.
yeah, yeah,
This is amazing. Yeah, I think this will add a lot of value for you personally and for organizations who kind of need a demo to take the final step before paying lakhs of rupees to Alok Khatri.
At least we have come here from pain. Yeah. So I think the final piece that I think is still not solved is how we can do editing on a very consistent manner. Because obviously there are tools that can edit, but then the way I can put review in the process of content generation, I can't really put that process into video editing yet. Like it might be I'm missing some tools that is something that I want to dig into. But then if that piece is solved, then I think a lot of workflow what Ashutosh is doing right now can get dumped into this command center, because let's say we do the podcast on Riverside, right? We do the podcast on Riverside. Once the podcast is done, we dump the transcript. I just need a folder where this needs to be done, or I just need to connect to Riverside and approve anything that needs to be done over here. So I think we are, and Ashutosh himself was sharing an article with me saying that the new hire right now in 2026 is content engineering. This is the hire. It's an agent. It's not a person. So, how do you think your role evolves around this, Ashutosh? And like, how do you see it for yourself? So right now, almost saying that I built something that does 80% of what you do, and maybe there is some of the other work that has depreciating value as we move deeper into 2026. How do you see your own role evolving, and how's the scenario there?
No, I think this had to come. Like I was doing the tasks that could be easily automated. So I think like where I see myself going is I think I will be going more towards human things that are more human and more people and which involves more strategy. And I think uh, like for anyone that is in my position, if they are adaptable from like day one, I believe you guys have seen that while I was working with you. So I think I figured out it very earlier and I left all the jobs that I was doing. Alak Bhai knows it. So I came from a different industry to the field of AI so that I could learn this. And now, since I'm working on my personal brand, I'm getting to read more books. I'm connecting more to humans, and I think that will be uh, my competitive edge in this post AI world.
Yeah, I
Wow.
think one of the things
I'm already
that I
glad we invited Ashutosh.
Yeah, yeah. One of the things that I've really loved about working with Ashutosh is the adaptability is like really, really high. And then I think it's not uh because like we know for a matter of fact that we have really pushed a lot of things on you. Now you need to do this, you need to do that. And I think like anyone would have broken pretty easily, like in my understanding, if the adaptability was not there. But the adaptability also brings in a very different side of what we are doing so that we can get to a different level, start seeing the scenarios over there, and then keep on evolving, right? I think that is a very, very important skill for someone of your age, or in fact, for anyone anyone in today's world.
Mhm.
So yeah, looking forward to that, man. I think like how you will evolve when when we found a way to replace you.
No,
obviously in the same
definitely.
obviously in the same ecosystem but then like there could be so much more value to unlock.
Yeah, I think like just few days, like the last episode, right? Punit Dai taught me about about branding and stuffs. And after that conversation, what I found was we have been replacing marketing branding with so many unwanted words, and we are not finding that human element. And I think that is where I'll play a very bigger role. I think I will
Absolutely.
move forward in
Brand
that way.
assets.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, 100%.
Yeah, and then I think that's a skill and half in itself. But I think like how that skill and half translates into skills in the post AI world, because like I think all of that is pretty much skills that we need to be able to talk to, because because the systems have sort of become like that. I'm very excited about this, Punit, because uh, generally it's almost like I can build my own OS very, very fast, and then I can do it just so that I can use it. It has to be optimized to my workflow, my way of thinking, my personal preferences. And if I can get to somewhere like this in barely 10 hours, that's
Yeah.
great. Uh, but then the caveat over there is, out of this 10 hours, the first 5 6 hours I actually spend a lot of time on writing my agents.md file, so that I can actually be really, really clear of what I'm trying to build on the first go, and then obviously the optimizations could definitely follow. So uh, OS as a person, OS as organizations, I think that's the direction where things are headed right now. Like software is going to be built for everyone, but then the software that is really true to that business, like we probably are heading in that direction for sure.
And I really like kind of where this project, few elements of your project that I really liked was it it follows the same mental map as
Yeah,
you in
yeah,
terms of the auditability, observability. When you talked about observability, you immediately went towards kind of cost and human in the loop, right?
yeah,
And this kind of graph. But
yeah,
when I did my personal project, which you are aware of, my personal
yeah,
assistant,
yeah,
I am operating as a one person CEO of a new business unit I'm leading. So I did not need all of this, right? Like I don't care about cost because I'm not doing anything repeatable. Versus you are doing something, you are mapping like repeatable things, and then cost becomes involved because if you were to, you're always thinking from the lens of I should know exactly what it's costing. And then
mhm,
I would never use a council of LLMs because it just doesn't make sense for me. For you it makes sense, right? So kind of having this kind of a personal project that uh, that represents your kind of the angle from which you look at the world. Because for me it's different as a solo like founder CEO in refounding mode, trying to revive the company by building a completely new business unit by myself. I have a different way of looking at life right now. You as someone who is helping AI anxious organizations with their AI transformation and awakening and kind of not being afraid of AI.
Yeah.
and embedding workflows into real world use cases, you have this angle that you look at AI, right?
Yeah.
Ashutosh, as someone who is helping us out building this community, he talked about what can I do that's 100% human, all of
Yeah.
that. He has an angle of AI, and
Yeah.
maybe now the next step for Ashutosh is what's his personal project, right? AI personal project that is very visual, just like your project and just like my project,
Yeah.
that we can show to potential employers in the future as this is how I look at the world of AI. And
Mhm.
probably every person in Ashutosh's place should have that one project, right? Or one suite of projects. So basically, instead of your GitHub, now your these kind of projects that reveal your stance on AI
Yeah.
are kind of the portfolio that will set someone apart in the
I,
marketplace.
I totally agree because there is actually no, like, one way to build it. But something that is very exciting for me is actually the organizational evolution in the post AI world, right? Um,
And if you look at our friend Prashish, if you look at the what he's doing, he's looking at it from a very engineering angle, right? Uh, so it's like three people all geeking out over this big change in the world, but from very different lenses, and we all add something to the conversation, right? And now
yeah,
Ashutosh kind of looking at you as a fourth piece
yeah,
of you are looking at it from the lens of how can I build a community of AI enthusiasts, right? Now,
mhm,
what you build with AI that represents the way you look at the world and your work.